Hi, I'm DWIFL, and that stands for Discussing What I Feel Like. I have decided to create this channel to discuss things I feel like discussing, because why not? I want to maintain some sense of anonymity, hence the hat and glasses. I know it's not doing much, but it's something. So this video will just be a tiny bit of background and some recent thoughts I've been having. So I have recently decided to work towards living independently. And what that looks like for me is, number one, not trying to find a romantic partner. I am no longer interested in dating. I find the dating scene very uninspiring and I just don't have a good time when I do it. So unless something comes along naturally, I don't want it. Number two is fully immersing myself in my hobbies. I have a couple of hobbies that I do regularly, and I think just throwing myself into those and seeing what I can do with them will just really help improve my sense of self and what I can do. Number three is saving money but not missing out on things. So obviously if I'm going to live independently, I will need to pay all my bills, my accommodation, my food, my bills, So obviously I need to save some money. However, I'm not going to save money at the sacrifice of socialising and doing things I want to do. If there's an event I want to go to, if there's a gathering I want to go to, I'm going to do it, because yes, I will be spending that money, but I will be improving my happiness by going to those things. So deciding to live independently can be kind of hard to decide, because it kind of means you've given up on finding a life partner. And sure, that could still happen, but I feel like I need to look at my life realistically and acknowledge that I can't wait around for a life partner forever just so I can split rent with someone, you know? Obviously there's more to it than that, but that's a big one, that's a big reason. And I want to acknowledge that yes, a lot of people will say there is someone for everyone out there, but maybe my person's path just doesn't cross my path in that lifetime, and that is fine, because life is so much more than finding romantic love. Like, I see romantic love as a luxury, and I believe you don't need it to have a fulfilling life. And there are some positives to living independently. Like, you can come and go when you please, no one's going to ask where you're going. You don't have to worry about someone else, like you only have to worry about yourself and people you choose to worry about. Your money only goes on yourself. And there are no compromises. With dinner, with what to watch on TV, stuff like that. It's those little things that we should be appreciative of. So something that ties into all this is life plans. And personally, I don't believe they're good for us. Like, how many of us thought we'd be married with kids at the age we are now, or maybe even younger than now? I just think trying to plan life down to a T when things can go so many different ways is just futile. Like, by all means have the timeline as a goal if you want to, but just give yourself leeway, like, so that you're not disappointed if it doesn't go the way you planned. And obviously it can be lonely to decide to live independently. So some of the things I do to keep my mental health as strong as I can are the following. They are things like getting offline more, connecting with nature, and using my creativity. Those are the main three, I think. So let me elaborate. So getting offline has mainly been for me getting away from short form video content. This type of content has become so mainstream and so popular that it's taken over a lot of people's lives. Those algorithms have absolutely mastered how to keep us engaged so that we don't move for hours, even when we want to. And don't get me wrong, some of it is good content, but I would strongly advise you to consider whether it's benefiting you in your life. So next time you're watching a short video or a couple of short videos, just maybe ask yourself, are you laughing? Are you learning? Are you relaxed? Is it giving you some happiness? And are you genuinely interested in the topic for good reason? And if the answer is no to all of those, maybe just have a little rethink on how you're spending your free time. And it's totally understandable why so many of us consume this content, because it's easy to consume content. You don't have to think about it. And I do think it's fine if you just want to kill a bit of time or wind down after a busy work day, for example. But if you're wanting to do something you feel good about, maybe reintroduce yourself to a hobby you once loved. So intentionally using my creativity has really helped me get away from that sort of content and trying new hobbies that I've not been into before. For example, last year I got into reading and I've actually really enjoyed it. I used to hate reading when I was younger because we had to do it because of school, like they told us to do it, but now I'm doing it on my own terms. I actually quite enjoy it. And the best part about reading in this day and age is there's no ads. It's amazing. But yeah, intentionally using my creativity has really helped me. Like, I am a creative person, I always have been. I do currently have an unexciting desk job, but even something like doodling in my notebook keeps my head above water. Also, I think a really good point is that people forget you can be bad at a hobby. Because nowadays so many people, understandably, try to turn their hobbies into their job, but you are allowed to do something because you find it fun, rather than try to produce an income from it. So make up a dance, draw a rubbish picture, write a dumb song or poem or story, make a bad clay sculpture and laugh about it with your friends. Just any of these types of things are good for your brain, and I believe so much better for you than sitting on your phone for 3 hours. I just think a lot of people need to retune with their inner selves and remember what they enjoyed before everything became so performative. Even if it's playing with Barbies, grab some Barbies in a dream house and create some drama in your living room. You don't have to tell anyone if you don't want to. So the third thing I mentioned was connecting with nature, and this is essentially that meme of go and touch some grass. But I would suggest go for a walk without headphones and just notice the sounds of the birds singing, the trees rustling, stuff like that. Maybe climb a hill and appreciate the view at the top. Sit in a field of an afternoon and just pause and just breathe and just notice the colours and the life that's outside of your phone screen. And if all of that seems a bit too much, a bit too overwhelming, I think even long form video content is better for you than short form, such as think pieces, video essays, even films. Get back into films, man. Just maybe challenge yourself to concentrate on it and assess what you thought about it afterwards. We are no longer being encouraged to think for ourselves, so we need to encourage ourselves to do so. So yeah, those are my thoughts on living independently and trying to keep your mental health above water, in a way. Give some of them a go if you like. If you don't want to, don't. I think just find out what makes you happy and do those things as long as you're not hurting anyone, because what is the point of being here if it's not to make ourselves happy? But yeah, I don't know what will come of this channel, but follow along if you want to. I'll probably get some different lighting, this is weird.